I said, that's right. I said, how do you know about Malcom X? He said, brother, we studied him in the revolution. I said, well, no. He said, meet me here tomorrow. He said, meet me here tomorrow at 2 o'clock. I'm going to bring you a book that we studied on Malcom X in Iran. All right. Next day, 2 o'clock, here he comes. He had this little book, had a black fist on it. It was written in Farsi. It had a black fist on it, clutching a dollar bill, and there was a Statue of Liberty in the back, and in Farsi it said, the struggle for Islam in America. And so I opened the book, and there's a picture of Malcolm, and it said under it, the autobiography of Malcom X. I visited Iran in 1990, and his brother from Kenya came up to me. He said, brother, are you from the United States? I said, yes, I am. He said, can you give me some books on Malcom X? They don't want you to know this. That in 1984, the Iranians had a stamp. They had a stamp of Malcolm. It was an international day of fighting against racial discrimination. They had a stamp of Malcolm, calling him prayer. So the United States didn't say, y'all made it. Plus y'all have him killed, I'll make a stamp on it. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Right, come on. You don't have him killed, then make a stamp. Right? So the point I'm trying to make is that the reason why they knew that they let us go, they knew that we're not a part of the empire. We're not a part of it. That's why we can go to different parts of the world to this day. The interview with the brother from India, you know, the caste system, you know what I'm saying? The so-called untouchables, the Dalits, you know, the dark ones, of course. Right? The Dalits. A brother in charge of the Dalit Panthers. They said, the Dalit Panthers, does that have anything to do with the Black Panther Party found in Oakland, California? He said, it has everything to do with it. The Dalit Panthers. We got wrecked. We got wrecked. And so when the Black Panthers were saying that they were against the war of aggression, what they were saying was, we are not imperialists. We're not down to imperialist moves. We ain't down with that. And so when people around the world looked at America, they thought of Muhammad Ali. They thought of Malcolm. They thought of Martin Luther King and the stance that he took. That's what they thought of. That's what they thought of. That's our reputation around the world. We fight. That's why that brother asked me in Nicaragua, how come black people are not fighting anymore? Because people around the world, don't they look at America anyway because it's America? Right? Style from America. America. Well, the people who are in America who are struggling and fighting, they look at them too. And so therefore, we got wrecked, we got respect. There are places we can go and they'll give us a police escort. We got that much respect. No exaggeration. And so this war against, these wars of aggression, America is still engaging in these wars of aggression. Latin America, Nicaragua gave me a good understanding of the effects, seeing the effects of imperialism on a country. Because we will give you the technology to extract it, but you will not have the technology to manufacture it. We will give you the technology to extract that copper, but you will not have the technology to turn that copper into rock. The phones, computers. You'll be able to extract it, but you won't be able to manufacture it. We're going to take it. We're going to manufacture it, and we're going to sell it back to you. And we're going to determine what the prices will be. Ain't that cold blood? So under the agreement, you will only have technology to get out the ground. That's the only technology you will have. And we will run the machines. You will be gophers. We'll run the machines. But in terms of turning that raw resource into the finished product, oh no. That manufacturing will be in our country. We will do that. We will do that. And we will sell it back to you at the price that we determine it will be. Now you can say to yourself, what people will allow that to happen? Who but leaders? Because what happened was, when you had direct colonization in imperialism, you had direct control and indirect control. Before the 60s, it was direct control. White folks was in India. 100,000 white people running 100 million Indians. So Gandhi ain't have to fight. 100 million to 100,000? All we got to do is just not do nothing. 4 million white people controlling 20 million black people in South Africa. Right? Look at this madness. And so then you have a situation where your resources will come. Well, here's what they do to us. Here's what they do to us. There was a time, for example, that all these black college players, for example, were going to black schools. Good college players, ballers. Yeah. And what happened? They were taken out of those black schools and put in these white schools. And brought even money. White schools. Just like the resources is drawn out of our countries to make somebody else rich, the resources in our communities are drawn out to make somebody else rich. Some of these schools, college basketball players, are having white agents. Not racist. Not racist. I mean, come on, jeez. You're making all this money, you got this white agent who made it rich, and the money he's taking going to his community. He's taking that money out of our community. We're not allowed to get rich off of our resources. We're not allowed to get rich off of our talent. You get rich off of our talent. That's imperialism. That's imperialism. Just on a lower form. And then we get so used to it. We start thinking that, we get that high up, can't handle it. We have a system and our family just get there. That imperialist mentality. So brothers and sisters, here we are today. The Black Panther said we are against wars of aggression. We're against wars of aggression. Real quick. Direct control means white people are controlling. Indirect control means they give black people with puppets to do it for them. Direct control means white people are there in that country controlling it. Indirect control means the white people get out. They get out, physically get out, and leave a people who look like that people to work on their behalf. Right now, we are in the stage of indirect control. Indirect control. What George Bush was doing, George Bush was taking America back to direct control. That's what he was taking, direct control. Imperialism. Now this is very critical because the next theater of operations is Africa. Seriously. Black Africa is next. You already see it happen in the Sudan. So-called genocide in the Sudan. You see it in Somalia. You see it there. Keep your eyes on the west coast of Africa. That's where the oil is at too. On the west coast of Africa. There's an organization called the U.S. African Command. It is a group that is in operation that is designed to remilitarize Africa. To keep the puppets in power, and any movements that come up that fight against those puppets, and fight against the puppets and fight against imperialism are put down by the U.S. African Command. Who's in charge of the U.S. African Command? A black general. Because when you fight black people, you use black people. When you fight red people, you use red people. Some of the most racist cops in our community are black cops. Because they're trying to out-white the white cops. They are. So now we're in a situation where they're using black people. They're using people who look like us against us. So a black general will be in charge of remilitarizing Africa. And that's why this is critical. Because now, one of the dangers of having a black president, is that a black man is the figurehead of the empire. And if push comes to shove, will this black president send troops to Africa to fight against the people who are fighting against the president? And if he does, what will our position be? Some of our people, I'm talking, y'all have to excuse me, I'm talking black folk. Some of our people are looking at this thing, which is understanding this is amazing, and they're looking just on the surface. And that's real. Old black folks, come on, you gotta give it to them. You gotta let them have their time. Little kids, you gotta let them have their time. Because it's amazing. But y'all can't look just on the surface. You gotta look at the surface. And beneath the surface is that America is in aggressive mode